The jungle belongs to the wild, and the city belongs to us. But when humans step into nature's territory, things don't always go as planned. From deadly animal encounters to terrifying survival stories, these African safari trips turned into absolute nightmares. Would you risk your life for a close encounter with nature? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking stories. Furious giraffe attacks jeep. Nobody thinks of giraffes as dangerous, but you wouldn't want one chasing you. These massive animals may look gentle, but their kick is powerful enough to kill in one blow. A group of tourists in Kenya's Masai Mara Game Reserve found that out the hard way when an enraged giraffe charged at their jeep. At first, they laughed, until the furious animal started gaining on them. It wasn't playing, it was angry, and it was fast. In a terrifying twist, the giraffe didn't just chase them. It got ahead of the jeep, blocking their path. That's when panic set in. Trapped face to face with a towering, furious beast, the tourists had no idea what would happen next. Did they escape? Did the giraffe attack? Nobody knows. Maybe this is just found footage from a trip gone wrong. Rhinos' fierce fight for survival. A rhino charging at cars might seem shocking, but for them, humans are the real danger. With only a few left in the wild, these animals live in constant fear of poachers. Their horns, made of the same material as human fingernails, have been sold for high prices, pushing rhinos to the edge of extinction. So when they see people near their young, they don't take chances, they charge. They've likely seen poachers before and know exactly how dangerous humans can be. But rhinos aren't just victims, they're fighters. These massive animals can weigh between 1,760 to over 3,000 pounds, with some reaching a whopping 6,385 pounds. Their power comes from their strong bodies and sharp horns, which they use to defend themselves. A charging rhino can knock down almost anything in its path. Sadly, even with all their strength, poachers still have the upper hand, and time is running out for these incredible creatures. Elephants attack tourists' car. Nothing beats the thrill of seeing wild elephants up close. A group of German tourists was having the time of their lives as a family of elephants crossed the road right in front of their car in Kruger National Park, South Africa. But things took a turn when they noticed two male elephants had split from the group and were acting aggressively toward each other. The tourists thought they were about to witness a fight, but suddenly, one of the elephants turned its attention to their vehicle instead. Before they could react, the massive elephant charged at their car and struck the rear window with its powerful tusk. The glass shattered instantly, showing just how strong these animals really are. Thankfully, the tourists were unharmed, but their rental car didn't survive as well. As they processed what had just happened, they even joked about losing their deposit. But one question remained. Does insurance cover an elephant attack? Cheetah jumps into safari car. This tourist got way closer to wildlife than he ever expected. While on a safari in Tanzania's Serengeti, photographer Peter Heiston and his tour group were enjoying their trip when they noticed some cheetahs getting a little too curious. As they stopped for lunch, one of the big cats casually climbed onto a vehicle, which the guide said was normal. Cheetahs like high ground to scout their surroundings. But then, something shocking happened. Out of nowhere, another cheetah jumped straight through a car window and landed in the back seat. Tourist Britton Hayes sat frozen, his heart pounding, as the wild animal stood just inches away. Somehow, he managed to stay calm, and someone even snapped a picture of him with the cheetah. Now that's a vacation photo his mom will never forget. Hippo attack in Botswana. A group of tourists in Botswana learned the hard way that hippos are not to be messed with. While on a safari in the Okavango Delta in 2023, an American couple and their group spotted a hippo and decided to stop for pictures. Bad idea. The massive animal suddenly charged their truck. Not just as a warning, but for real. It bit down on the passenger door, trapping the terrified tourists inside. Hippos have powerful jaws, and once they latch onto something, they don't let go easily. Luckily, after a tense moment, the hippo released its grip. But the damage was done. The door and window were ruined, and the Jeep's body was left dented and broken. Here's something surprising. Hippos can't actually swim. Even though they spend most of their lives in the water, their huge bodies sink instead of floating. But that doesn't slow them down. Instead, they use their strength to push off the riverbed, moving through the water at scary speeds. So, if you ever find yourself in the sights of an angry hippo, don't think you can easily escape just because you're in a boat. These animals are fast, furious, and some of the most dangerous creatures in Africa. Tiger attacks tour bus. This is the last place you'd want your bus to break down. In a creepy safari tour, a group of visitors sits inside a cage-like bus as they drive through an unknown wildlife park. But here's the twist. The tigers are the ones roaming free outside. The massive cats creep closer, pressing their faces against the wire, almost as if they're the ones observing humans in a zoo. It's an eerie role reversal that makes you wonder, who's really on display here? Now let's just hope that rusty old bus holds up. With its rickety frame and clanky sounds, it doesn't exactly look escape-proof. If these tigers are smart enough, they might just figure out how to get inside. And if that happens, well, let's just say this tour could take a terrifying turn. Lion opens a car door. Lions are smart, but did you know they can open car doors? That's exactly what happened in Kruger National Park, South Africa. As a line of cars waited, a curious lioness locked her eyes on one vehicle. She wasn't just staring, she was figuring out how to open the door. Imagine thinking you're safe inside your car, only to realize a lion might let itself in. Most people assume they're safe from lions as long as they stay inside their cars. But what if their doors are unlocked? To a lion, those humans inside might look like an easy meal, if only they could open the wrappers. And now, some lions are learning to do just that. It makes sense when you think about it. They watch people all the time and pick up new tricks. So the real question is, what else are they learning? Buffalo's desperate escape. Getting attacked by a lion is terrifying, but crashing into a jeep while fighting for your life? That's pure chaos. This buffalo was battling a hungry pride of lions when a group of tourists in safari jeeps arrived, hoping to witness nature's brutality up close. But instead of an easy hunt, the buffalo fought with everything it had, twisting, turning, and charging in all directions to shake off the deadly predator. In a moment of pure panic, the buffalo slammed straight into a safari jeep, the impact throwing the lion off its back. Seizing the chance, it bolted, running for its life. But the lions weren't giving up that easily. They chased after their prey, and though we don't know if the buffalo escaped, it sure gave them a fight they won't forget. Lion jumps into a truck. A massive lion suddenly leaps into a truck full of people. Yes, you heard that right. A group of students was on a safari in Kruger National Park, South Africa, taking pictures of the wildlife when out of nowhere, a huge white lion jumped right into their open jeep. Just imagine the shock. But before you panic, no one got hurt. The tour guide quickly calmed everyone down, explaining that this lion was raised by humans and sees cars as nothing more than toys. Still, it's a little unsettling that a wild lion thinks of people as playmates instead of something to be cautious about. While the situation ended peacefully, one guy even took a selfie with the lion. Probably not the smartest idea. It's one thing to enjoy nature, but getting that close to a giant predator? That's pushing your luck. Giraffe breaks car window. You won't believe what happened at West Midlands Safari Park. A woman left her car window open, and a curious giraffe stuck its head inside, hoping for some food. Instead of waiting for the animal to move, she tried to close the window on the giraffe's head. Now, what do you think happens when you trap a massive animal's head in a car window? Well, the glass shattered everywhere. The poor giraffe had its head squished for a moment before the window gave way, leaving broken glass all over the place. Either way, this was a terrible idea. If the glass hadn't broken, the giraffe's head could have been stuck, making things even worse. Safari parks have one simple rule: keep your windows up. But clearly, common sense isn't so common after all. Curious camel chaos. This guy got way closer to a camel than he ever wanted. While driving through a safari park in Alexandria, Louisiana, AJ and his friend Shie were having a blast, until they reached the camel area. These camels knew exactly what open car windows meant: food. Without hesitation, they shoved their giant heads inside, desperate for a snack. AJ and C were laughing non-stop as the hungry camels poked their noses into the car, sniffing around for treats. But then, things got wild. One particularly nosy camel got way too close, sending AJ into full panic mode. He screamed and scrambled into the back seat, trying to escape, while Xie couldn't stop laughing. The camels weren't giving up, though. They kept chasing the car, sticking their heads in every chance they got. The whole scene was pure chaos, with non-stop laughter and camels on a mission for food. Gorilla attacks. This honeymoon took a wild turn. A woman on a safari trip found herself face-to-face with an angry silverback gorilla. No, she didn't actually marry the gorilla. He was just part of the entertainment. But as the massive beast started pounding his chest, things took a scary turn. When a male gorilla does this, it's a warning sign. And let's just say this one wasn't in a great mood. Before anyone could react, the gorilla charged and shoved the woman to the ground. Luckily, she walked away without any serious injuries. Just a crazy story to tell for the rest of her life. Not many people can say they were knocked over by a gorilla on their honeymoon. And thanks to the internet, now the whole world knows her wildest vacation memory. Leopard's close encounter. You won't believe what happened to this tourist on a safari in Botswana back in 2018. He was enjoying a thrilling adventure in the Okavango Delta when his vehicle stopped near a young leopard. The big cat had just finished feasting on an impala, but instead of resting, it got up and curiously approached the jeep. The tourist, probably expecting just a calm safari ride, suddenly found himself face to face with one of nature's top predators. Now, here's where things get crazy. The leopard, looking more playful than aggressive, started pawing at him. But let's not forget, this wasn't some oversized house cat. It was a wild animal that could take down prey in seconds. Yet, instead of panicking, the tourist stayed put, almost as if he was testing his luck. In the end, he got scratched and decided to share his wild experience with the tabloids. A thrill seeker or just a bit dramatic? Either way, that's one vacation story he'll never forget. Lion versus tiger. Lions can sleep wherever they want. Who's gonna stop them? At Kruger National Park in South Africa, visitors dream of spotting these majestic animals. So, when a whole pride decided to nap right on the road, no one minded the traffic jam. They were stretched out in the sun, enjoying a lazy afternoon until the growing crowd of cars started to disturb their peace. Slowly, they got up, moving at their own pace. Because let's be honest, no one tells a lion what to do. But one lioness was feeling extra curious. She wandered over to a parked car, sniffed around, and then decided to take a bite of a tire. Bad idea. Her sharp teeth met the air-filled rubber, and with a loud pop, the tire exploded. The startled lioness jumped back in shock, quickly scampering away. Curiosity didn't kill the cat this time, but it sure gave her a surprise. Monkeys wrecked his car. If you ever visit a safari park with monkeys, there's one thing you can count on. They love messing with cars. That's exactly what happened when a dad drove into the baboon area at Knowsley Safari Park in the UK. These little troublemakers wasted no time, yanking at the windshield wipers, a favorite target for mischief. It's almost like a monkey tradition at safari parks worldwide. But they didn't stop there. The baboons chewed on the side mirrors, tugged at car parts, and gave the poor driver a seriously stressful ride. He probably didn't expect a bunch of monkeys to turn his car into their personal playground. Ever had your own wild run-in with animals? Share your story in the comments. Angry buffalo on the move. That huge buffalo isn't just walking up to the safari vehicle for fun. It looks seriously mad. Maybe it's curious, or maybe something has really annoyed it. Either way, sticking around isn't the best idea. If a buffalo decides it doesn't like you or your vehicle, your best move is to leave. Fast. These animals are no joke. An African buffalo can weigh up to 1,840 pounds and usually sticks with a massive herd. With their size alone, they are a force to be reckoned with. Buffalo are always on edge because they're hunted by both predators and humans. This constant danger makes them paranoid and easily triggered. Combine that with their aggressive nature, and you have one dangerous animal. Oh, and don't forget their massive horns. They can run up to 37 miles per hour, and in a herd of 50 to 500, they can even take on a pride of lions. Even alone, a buffalo is still a deadly opponent, strong, fast, and unpredictable. Some hunters go after them, but let's just say not all of them make it back in one piece. Baboons on a mission. Baboons in Cape Point, South Africa aren't just hanging around. They're running full-scale inspections on passing cars. These clever animals have mastered the art of searching vehicles, knowing that humans often carry food. The moment a car slows down, they swarm it like trained border guards on a high-stakes mission. They check every inch of the vehicle with surprising skill, refusing to take no for an answer. But it's not just the cars they're after. These baboons are bold enough to chase people too. Anyone stepping out of their vehicle quickly realizes they've made a mistake. The scene is both hilarious and terrifying, with baboons lining the roadside like they're waiting for a parade. If you squint, you might feel like you've stepped into a real-life Planet of the Apes. Too close to a tiger? These people had no idea their casual drive by an Indian forest would turn into a heart-pounding escape. At first, the tiger was minding its own business, blending perfectly into the tall grass. Its camouflage was so good that it was hard to spot. But everything changed when the curious tourists got a little too close. The tiger suddenly locked eyes with the jeep, clearly annoyed by the intrusion. In a flash, the big cat charged toward them, sending fear through everyone in the vehicle. Luckily, it seemed to be just a warning, but that didn't make it any less terrifying. Tigers can run up to 40 miles per hour, just as fast as the jeep on that rough dirt road. If the tiger had really wanted to catch them, it easily could have. This was a chilling reminder that in the wild, humans are not at the top of the food chain. Angry hippo attack. Hippos may look cute, but they are some of the most dangerous animals on the planet. These massive creatures mostly eat plants, munching up to 80 pounds of grass a day. But don't be fooled, they can be aggressive and even eat dead animals, including other hippos. When they're mad, they don't just growl or stomp their feet. A furious hippo will throw open its massive jaws in a terrifying warning or charge straight at whatever annoyed it. And with their huge weight and powerful bite, they can crush almost anything in their way, sometimes without even meaning to. That's why a group of travelers got the scare of their lives when a hippo took issue with their car. They had stopped near a body of water, thinking they were at a safe distance, but the hippo didn't like being watched. It wasted no time in showing its anger, forcing the people to make a fast escape. Luckily, they managed to drive away before things got worse. In the end, the hippo was tranquilized and relocated, though it's a little unfair considering it was just protecting its home. Monkey steals a priceless egg. Letting a monkey into your car? Bad idea. This guy found out the hard way when a sneaky monkey climbed in and started digging through his backpack. Suddenly, the little thief grabbed something and bolted. The guy started yelling. Turns out, the monkey had stolen his egg. But what kind of egg was so important that he had to chase after it like his life depended on it? Unless it was a priceless Fabergé egg, this whole scene seemed pretty ridiculous. Of course, the monkey was too clever to get caught. It dashed away, climbed up a tree, and proudly showed off its prize like a true champion. Just another day of wild monkey business. Safari trips are full of surprises, and this one was no exception. Have you ever been on a safari? Maybe a monkey stole your sunglasses, or even your car's mirrors. Nature doesn't forgive mistakes. Which story shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories.